everyone, it's Mavi and today I'm making a 100-hour French toast. I'm craving a good French toast for quite a while by now. And now that the weather is getting more crispy, I think it's the perfect time to show you this recipe. I'm making a fresh bread for this recipe, so let's start with the preferment. I'm activating the dry yeast and I'm adding some warm water and a little bit of sugar to make it activated and some bread flour. Fun fact, this recipe I learned it mainly by my boyfriend because I think before being with him I didn't know what a French toast was, so he introduced me to that and now it's my addiction. I just made the preferment and I'm gonna let it rest in the fridge for one day. So today is the second day, and in those rainy days, I really like to drink my chocolate milk, one of my most comfort drinks for rainy and cold mornings. This is the second part to make this bread. The bread we're making is challah, and it's an Israeli bread, and it's apparently the best bread to make French toast. I agree, I tried different ones. And making it's very satisfying. And now I'm mixing like all the wet ingredients, that it's basically olive oil and honey. The honey will add such a nice balance to it, and eggs. I learned this challah recipe mainly from YouTube. I think after I enjoyed so many French toast, I went into a deep dive of researching the best challah recipe. And I promise you, it won't disappoint. Now let's look how my preferment was doing. Yes, it seems like if it's very wobbly with the bubbles in the top, and then I add my wet and then dry ingredients and I start mixing. At this moment, I mixed all my wet and dry ingredients and I'm mixing them with the preferment with a flexible spatula, because this dough at the beginning is heavily sticky. Like, don't use your hands, you might lose one. And then I will transfer it to a surface and start kneading it. I'm kneading the dough by hand because I don't have a machine, but to be fair, I actually like it. Yeah, it's somewhat relaxing. It's just very long, so be ready to do this for like 10 to 15 minutes and consider this another arm workout of the day. At the end, you're working for this recipe, come on. Now, to make even more sure that I kneaded enough, you make this golf-sized ball of the dough and you stretch it enough to see if the gluten develop. You make like this window and see that it doesn't break. And then once our dough is done, you let it rest 2 hours. Meanwhile, I will take a walk at the lake and I will show you around my neighborhood. This lake area, it's so cute and peaceful when it is sunny. When it's raining, different vibe. Meanwhile, the dough rested so much and it's so airy. Look at that huge bubble. The dough grew so much. It makes me so happy. I always am so satisfied when something so little can grow so much and then saying that I made it, you know? Now I'm dividing the dough in 7 pieces. I try to make them as even as I can, but you can eyeball it. And then I will stretch the dough to make those 7, snakes, things. I don't know how to call them, because we're gonna braid the challah bread. The typical challah bread, it is braided. That's why I'm doing so. This dough, it's so fluffy. I feel like I could roll it forever. Nice. Now we can start the braiding. The braiding technique is way simpler than you could ever think. You put the second one to the top and the first one to the middle, and you repeat it in the other side, and so on. Somebody has to explain me scientifically how that works, but doing it, easy peasy. And I promise you, it won't disappoint. Like, look at this. Yeah, now how do we pick it up, huh? This is also an engineering course, a crash course. Perfect. I put it in diagonal because it will grow even more, so rest well, my dear. Meanwhile, I start with the base of my custard. The base is made by cream and milk, so enjoy, lactose intolerant people. I'm warming it up with cinnamon sticks and vanilla stick. I'm bringing it to the boil to then later let it cool down so all the flavor gets so intense. People often ask me why this recipe or the recipe I make are so long, but to be fair, it just gets the best flavors out. If you would make this recipe in one day, it wouldn't taste the same. So let's let this rest. Meanwhile, I will have dinner with some friends. Here I am after dinner, tummy is full and ready to put this in the fridge. I already stole a little bit of it, but you didn't notice. And now let's see how much the bread has risen. 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! Gorgeous. Gorgeous bread loaf. I'm putting now some egg yolk on top to give it the nice golden colors once it's baked. But again, I'm so amazed by how much this bread loaf grows. I'm leaving it in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes, but keep an eye on it because this one only took 20 minutes and I was about to burn it. Even though it's a lot, it will consume quite fast in my household. Me and my boyfriend are really addicted to this bread loaf. We eat it almost after every meal, any snacks. Now, of course, it cooled off. I'm not burning my hand. The dough is super spongy. It bounced back perfectly. First slice, taste test for the chef. With jam and butter. One of my favorite combo. Yum. Anything you want, literally anything you want in a bite. I'm cutting some slices to let them dry out for the French toast, because for some weird reason, the more dry the bread it is, the better the French toast is. Actually, French toast come from, of course, a French recipe, but of poor people with old bread, and it was very dry, so let's let this baby dry out. This is still very close to my neighborhood. It's just amazing how falls can give you so many nice things, huh? Just chestnut picking. One day till my French toast is done and I'm making a cream to put on the top. This cream, it's such a nice trick to add to your French toast because it's really delicious. It's basically mascarpone and then powdered sugar and vanilla extract, and it tastes like a vanilla ice cream that never really melts, so it never gets soggy on your French toast. It always tastes such a nice cream. I don't know. I could get a monologue of why you should make this cream. It's just perfection. And it's also a very nice snack for me, you know? And I'm a type of person that when they like something while they cook it, I'm always gonna snack on it. This is the sign of love for you, cream. Good night, rest well for one day. But meanwhile, taste test for me. Next day, it's a big day for you. Here it is, next morning. The mood is on point. Look at this sunshine. I'm in my pajamas ready to eat my French toast that I've been craving for so long by now. To get started, I'm warming up the milk and the cream, and I'm gonna filter it out to remove the sticks that have been infused very well. I'm adding some eggs and sugar, and then I will go in with the milk and cream. Look at all those vanilla seeds at the bottom. So tasty. Now let's check on our dry bread, and I prep on the side also this powdered sugar plate. The way of making it, it's almost like a fried chicken. You first dip it and then you coat it and then you fry it in butter. Can't get any better. All my favorite ingredients all at once. So let's do it. Here you go. The powdered sugar will add such a nice crunch, especially when it's so light, it gets soaked, but once it's fried in butter, it's really like you can tell that it adds a difference. I think the butter is also very excited. I'm so looking forward for my French toast. Okay, now plating skills, guys. This is my weakest area, but I'm trying to put effort. For the plating, I'm making sure my custard is there, and I'm making sure I will put loads of berries because I love fresh berries with a French toast, and there's such a nice balance for it. And here you go, my brunch French toast for a perfect morning. I hope really that your day can be as delicious as this French toast. Thank you for watching, guys.